looks worse in the feud? Is it Draymond or is it
I don't think anyone looks.
Charles?
I think it's great. I think it's great. It's back and forth. The Warriors are having a down year, so of course people are going to want to take shots. And I think Charles, and I love Charles as an analyst, and he was one of my favorite players growing up. As far as comparing those two, it's not really a comparison. I think it's skill, and everyone knows that. Draymond was in a great situation. He's still a very integral piece to all the success they've had. But as far as going back and forth, I love it because they both can talk.
Here's my thing. When you look, Draymond was not on Barkley's level as a skilled player. We all know that. Barkley is top 50 all time. Barkley was a great, great player, even though he never won a championship.
True.
Okay? And no, Draymond, you can't take Charles Barkley's job because he is television. I mean, Charles Barkley talking on the NBA, people watch and listen. Trust me.
Charles Barkley talk about anything.
There you go, okay?
Boy bands.
Here's my problem, though. On one hand, Barkley knows the game, and you know there's more to the game than just scoring. I can't stand when basketball players sit up there and call out other dudes because they weren't the scorer. Let me tell you something right now. You know who Ewing loved? Oakley. You know who Michael Jordan loved? Oakley. You know, the enforcers who protect you and stuff like that. You know Isaiah loved the Bill Lambiers of the world. To this guy, that's it, Rick Mahorn and those boys. Those are his boys to this very day because everybody's got a job to do. Draymond does his job at a very exceptional level when Steph and Clay are on the court. Barkley knows that. In the case of Draymond Green, rather than insult, clapping back at Barkley, why don't you talk about your game and what you bring to the table and educate people about how brilliant you are basketball-wise? Because Draymond is a brilliant brother when it comes to basketball. Do you know that with the meetings where they got picks coming in, you know, they got their war rooms and stuff like that. The other players ain't there. Draymond shows up. Draymond's in that war room with the Golden State Warriors, picking players, telling you what players will work, what players won't, what system we should run, et cetera, et cetera. Draymond is an active participant. The brother is a savant basketball-wise, and I wish that instead of just clapping back at Barkley, he would show that.
Draymond does, like, Oakley,
right.
Boycotting the Knicks and Dolan until he apologizes publicly to Oakley. I'm waiting on Blockbuster lines as a kid for Knicks tickets to watch Oakley. Love Oakley. And a lot of the guys you mentioned, Draymond does more than just what the typical power forward used to do. I always thought if you boil down the Warriors to their essential elements, Steph is one. I think Draymond is two, actually. His pick and roll partner, the guy, the do-everything man. You can't really run that system the same way without Draymond. And there are only a handful of Draymonds that, Draymond should clap back at Charles and say, well, I've won championships, partly because the way I can integrate into that stuff. I'll say this about Barkley. Draymond thinking he could do Charles Barkley's job better than Barkley. Barkley's job is not just analyzing basketball. Charles Barkley is the most entertaining dude in the media, period. I'll watch Charles Barkley and listen to him talk about anything. He's hilarious. And the only guy I really seen getting, when they're snapping, Shaq can snap better than Chuck. He gets the better of that.
Shaq wants to fight him,
Chuck is the most entertaining dude in the world.
I think Draymond's going to be successful post-career talking about basketball, too. He's very
got a
entertaining,
really
very
good
funny.
personality, too.
And I'm going to go out.
I'm
going to go out on a wire and say maybe they get one, but I don't see Golden State winning multiple titles without the importance of what Draymond does, not only to that team on the floor, but like Stephen A. said, the Warriors culture as a whole. He has his handprint on that culture as a whole, and they've all taken his mentality and approach to the game.
And they didn't listen. That's why they paid him a $100 million extension that kicks in next year. You can't just win just with them doing their job. He has to do
Draymond Green,
job.
a Hall of Famer?
Excuse me?
Draymond Green, a Hall of Famer.
I think when all is said and done.
I think so, too.
If Rob is a Hall of Famer, he's a Hall of Famer.
He might not be Justin Timberlake in the band, but he's someone. Ringo Starr's in the Hall of Fame, I'm sure.
A lot of money, too.
Yeah. Scoring ain't the only thing you do to win games. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.